Hello, everyone. In today's session, I'm going to be talking about Anaconda on Linux platform. As you know, that I had a video from zero to hero on Linux Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9. It was a full course. It is about 4 hours, some minutes, and you have been watching it. And then I'm going to just make Anaconda on Linux Red Hat another video today. It's been a while that that video is posted, and most of you have already been watching it. And that is the video that I'm talking about, Linux Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9 version, a virtual machine. And it was a full course from zero to hero. And this is on my website, youtube.com at MyWebUniversities. If you go to the videos under popular, you could see that this course, Linux Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9 virtual machine, full course from zero to hero. And then this is about 4 hours and 12 minutes and 7 seconds. But I also have another video that is on a full course on Rocky Linux, and I have Linux on Red Hat full course, and as well as Linux Ubuntu full course. These two are a little bit more popular. You can see this one is about 15,500 people have viewed it, and then if you share it, most likely there's more people are going to just know about it. And by sharing, you care about them. So please share our videos and just enjoy it and learn from it. It's all free and it's available full course for you. You don't have to go to college or just attend those expensive classes that is provided by the vendors or some companies. But I'm just providing it all for free, college level courses, and then you're welcome to join and then learn from it. So today I'm going to be talking about Anaconda, which is a very nice open source community, and that is working. The company is called Anaconda, and the software is called Conda. Conda is open source. Conda is similar to PEP. PEP is the default Python index packaging, which is PEP stand for Python indexing packaging. And then that one is basically the default for Python. But Anaconda, in addition to Python, Conda provides also kind of an environment for creating C and C++ and other development environment that you can just build your sources and build on top of it. However, PEP on the side of Python, because it has the default one and hundreds of thousands of packages that are available, PEP is much larger. Conda is the base is small, but however, Conda-Forge and other channels that are provided Anaconda under Anaconda, and then those ones are also huge, and you can find a lot of the packages that are provided under Python PEP. Conda provides it as well, especially under Conda-Forge. So I'm going to be showing all of that one today, and this is going to be provided to you at youtube.com. My channel handle is MyWebUniversity, and then you're welcome to watch it and then subscribe it and share it with your friends and loved ones. By sharing, you care, and then you will get the knowledge as well as your friends get the knowledge, and you will support your family and your co-workers and everybody. We all care about each other. So let me just get started on it. As you know, this was the video that I was telling you that under youtube.com under popular, it is there. But if you go to my homepage, there's thousands of 1,500 videos already. There are about 2,360 something subscribers. And then I really appreciate those of you that have already subscribed and makes nice comments. You're welcome to just watch all these videos. They are very, very technical, very detailed, and I will answer your question if you have questions on it. But if it is not, then you can just learn from them. And then I also have this one at MyWebUniversity. the English channel and then also the 4C channel. So if you I speak 4C, which is Dari, Persian, Afghanistan people, Iran people, Tajikistan, they speak 4C. And there's a lot of people in India and other Pakistan and other countries, they also understand 4C. So if you are speaking 4C and then you just make sure that you understand it in 4C language, watch these ones. But if you know English, then it's much easier to just watch these videos under the MyWebUniversity YouTube channel. MyWebUniversity is the YouTube channel. The name of the channel handle is at MyWebUniversity, basically. And then, as you know that on this video, you can see I did Anaconda on Windows operating system. I did Anaconda as Kali Linux operating system. And then I did Anaconda Navigator. And then a lot of these videos are posted. Anaconda Kali Linux is basically on Windows subsystem. So it has graphic interface, and this Kali Linux-large, it provides you the entire platform so you can do Windows kind of GUI interface desktop, and that I did build it and then run these commands. And I'm comparing like Conda versus PEP and everything. Whether you do it on Kali Linux, Linux Ubuntu, or Linux Red Hat, or Windows operating system, command line, or PowerShell, all of that information is going to be available at my YouTube channel, and you're welcome to do it. So in order to just go to the virtual machine, as you can see here, I'm running my Windows operating system, but I'm running a virtual machine, as you can see here. And that virtual machine, I have already spin it off in as Red Hat on the previous video that I showed you as a virtual machine. And then it is up and running right now. If I click on show, I will get into the desktop interface. So I'm going to log in here. The screensaver basically kicks in every time you don't use it for a while. So I'm going to type in the password. If I type the password correctly, obviously it's going to open up. So this is like a default directory. So I'm going to go to this one and clear the screen here. And so if I just open a terminal, basically the terminal is going to open this. And in order to just show you quickly, I'm going to close this one. This is the desktop here. So under the activity, you have these options to start off these activities, and this apps and everything that is there, as you know, like for example on the show application, all the applications that are there, as well as if you want to open a terminal, you can click on terminal and it all opens up. If you just say, well, that is good under this, let's go to the help. You can get help on the system, and you can just go on the browse and search whichever information you're going, you can get help on that one. And then also there's also file manager, similar to Windows file manager. This is the graphical interface. Linux is also user-friendly nowadays because it provides terminal command lines as well as graphical user interface. So if you're a graphical user person, you could just come in and just use it here. Let's say I go on my programs directory here, then I just go on the shells. I just showed you the command line, and now you're here. So if you want to run the shell script, you run it here. So let's say I go here, and then the other thing is that you have Firefox. By default, Firefox gets installed, but you have an option of running multiple Chromes. And one of the reasons that I would suggest that you could run another instance aside from the activity is for redundancy purpose. So if something doesn't work with Firefox because the restriction of Firefox is much stronger, and then sometimes, like for example, if I go HTTPS anaconda.com or anaconda.org, whichever one you go, the .org is the website, and then the .com is also the commercial version of it. And then notice here, it says that you have to accept that I'm not robot, and even though on the Firefox you do those two things, if you go to /downloads, for example, then you could get the same place where this one. Notice it says you don't have permission because I did not acknowledge this thing that I'm not a robot and other ones. But if I just say I'm not a robot and I answer this question, obviously I could just get to some level. Let's do that one. So I say crosswalk, and then I'm going to select this one, and this one, and then say verify. Okay, somehow I clicked on this one and this one, it did not take it. Okay, so this one is selected, this one is selected, and then this one is selected. Now keep coming, so that's the thing. Once you acknowledge all of them, then it says, once there are no more, then you can just click on verify. So now I click on verify, and now it says cars, because it wants to verify more. So this is cars, this is car, this is cars, this is cars, and these are not, so I'm going to say verify. And then now it says cars again, and then we just do the ones there. Did I miss anything last time? No. And then this is a little bit too much. Please check the new images. So this is new image, and then what other image that has cars? I don't see anyone. So let's see. And now it says register for free. I don't want to register, so I have acknowledged it. I could go to .org or .com, but once you register, I say I'm not a robot, you can click on Anaconda download, and then this download page comes in. And then this download page, as I told you, that sometimes Firefox, it is not showing this. Notice that this skip is not coming. So it's not enabled, so you can skip it, and that way you can do it. You don't have to type in email address if you don't want to register. But you can have the option of this one, and this one on the Windows browser automatically comes in. So whether you come in, like for example, this is Microsoft Edge, and then the browser matters. So if I just go here and say, and I say anaconda.org, https anaconda.org, and then take that one and then just go to download page here, download Anaconda. Notice here, this hyperlink is right away selected. So what I did here is, rather than just using the Windows version, I could just say, okay, I want to just use Chromium or something else on this instance. So I close the Firefox here. So this is Firefox. I'm going to close Firefox for both instances. Now, here I could just say, well, I needed to install Chromium, because Chromium does not come as default package here. So the way you do it is you go sudo su-dash, and then let me just type in the password first. Okay, so now I logged in. I say I'm root. If I want to just download Chromium, then I have to do DNF install Chromium, and that like that. Chromium, and that is the browser for Chromium. Since it's already meet the dependencies met already, so Chromium-common is installed already. I could say RPM-QA, and then do. If it was not there, it would have prompted me for installation. And so then I could say RPM QA, and then grep -I Chromium. You can see that Chromium, everything that I searched, all those ones that are there, the Chromium-common or any one of them has the binary. So I could say while read var do, and then say let's do RPM minus Q L. So on this one is going to be $var and then say grep minus I bin. So for each one of them that match the bin directory, then I know whether the name of the Chromium browser. So if I didn't know the name, this is how you detect what comes on what RPM version and there. You could also say, for example, here before that one, say echo before or after. Let's do it before. So you say do and then put another semicolon here, say echo working on $var now. So this way you can tell that you're just running it there. But let me just see what I did here with the semicolon. So while var do, yeah, unfortunately I mistyped it. So let me correct that one. We say while read, I could just make it var or pkg, that doesn't matter. Let's say do echo working on $pkg, the package name, and then now, and then say RPM minus QL $, and then pkg, and then word count minus not word count, rep minus I bin, and then that. So this way it is going to say working on this package, and then once it finds it on the bin directory where it finds out the user bin Chromium, and you can tell that it is on this package. So I could also say, for example, if I just wanted like that one, I could copy that one. I could say RPM minus QA, and that package is already installed. This is how you could verify there. Echo $question mark $question mark would say 0 successful. And in QC for checking and verification, you could do that also. It says that it is not installed, but maybe it's .rpm. And so it says not installed. If I say RPM, and that one is still not detected. But what we could do is say, instead of this one, we could say less than. Now the RPM is not there, but the actual package is not showing. So, oh, because a typo is there, Chrome, that was the reason. So all the time that when I was saying that you can check it, you could do QC here and then echo $question mark would be successful. And QV, query, it will say that package is there. It will list it. So now if I just say, go ahead, do this one with QL, it will list all the packages here. And then I could do a grep minus I bin, then you could see that user bin. Now we know the name of it. You could say which Chromium dash shell dash gnome dash shell. So that this is Chrome dash gnome dash shell. And then the other package that had it, which Chrome dash gnome dash shell. This is that package. And if I just say which Chrome dash browser, Chrome dash browser, the E is missing. Okay, so let's see. The while read var, I'm going to run that command again, just to get the list of them right there. And I think it was this one, Chromium, and then Chromium. So this other package, 13, had that one. Since we found that one, you could say RPM minus QL, and then just look for this one, the browser one. So copy that one and paste that one. This time I copied the C, which was missing last time, so it is going to show it. Now if I say, show me everything that is bin, now you can see Chromium dash browser is there. So you could say which Chromium dash browser, and that would also return that. So as you can see, I'm logged on as myself here as root, and then I just need to not be root when I want to do start the browser. So I have only privilege for the user that I'm running it as, right? So what I do is, all I do is to say Chromium dash browser. And notice that now, if I say HTTPS anaconda.org, this one I just had acknowledged it, automatically it's going to come out. It still says I need to verify, so I could verify the motorcycle. And then there's this in that piece. I don't know if the shadow is going to be considered as that one. It did like that. Okay, so now you have to do verification more of that one. And there's one parked here, I think. And that's now we have to verify one more thing, stairs. So this is the stairs, this is the stairs, this piece are all the stairs, and we just acknowledge all of them. And then now it says register for free. So this one, I don't want to register. Now we want to go to download. This is just to show you, if you went to Anaconda and this button was not enabled because of Firefox, this is how you fix it. You install Chromium and then you just open the Chromium. Now you skip it. Now it will go take you to the Chromium download page. And now you notice that on the Anaconda, Windows is there, and then Mac is there for Unix, and then also Linux there. So in order to save this that binary, I have already downloaded this one for myself. If I click on this one, basically it is going to go to my download directory, and which I did in the past. So I'm going to close this one now. I showed you that one. I'm going to just say go to download directory. Downloads is in the directory, and notice that this file Anaconda is already downloaded there. File Anaconda, this file is basically, if I say ls Anaconda, that file is going to list here Anaconda. And file Anaconda, that file is telling you that it's a POSIX shell. It's a Apache shell script that is a Bourne shell script. So the head of that one, headed -5 Anaconda, you can see that it is written in Bourne shell. Just the first one, and it's hard coded, bin bash. So if I say which sh, it says that it's on the user bin sh. But these ones will be detected. It's okay. Normally, this is not good way to do it. You want to do shebang, shebang like this, and then user bin env, and then bash or sh or Perl or Python, whatever. So that line is telling this virtual env executable what to find. So if you're looking for bash interpreter, you type in that. If you're doing bash interpreter, you BSH. Bourne shell is just a sh. Corn shell is corn shell, like that. C shell is C shell. True C shell is the same thing. And then Python, ZSH, and then let's say fish, or any other interpreter that you're using, Perl, Ruby, all of these ones, but you need this virtual environment to load that binary. So this script is very kind of older system to just support the SH, and SH is the older version of it. So it is backward compatible, that meaning that if you don't have bash or ZSH or other ones, you could still run the script. Bourne shell, sh. So like here, if I say which sh, here you can see that it is there. I could type in sh, and I'm now on the shell, Bourne shell. So if I say echo $ shell, you can see it's my $ shell is default shell, but PS is pointing to this one. So echo and dollar sign, that's the process ID of 5912 is and the Bourne shell. If I exit out of this one and I do a PS, now it's a echo dollar sign, that's still going to show the process ID of bash. Okay, so that tells us that we are on this directory, and right here we have two files. One is the Bourne shell script, and one is the back directory. In order to just show you, if you had already had the option on Chromium to just enable it, now you want to download it through command line. I wrote this wget.sh anaconda.sh script. So basically you say wget dash dash no check certificate, and then the name of the URL that you can cut and paste it, which is going to copy this one. So since the script is executable, I made the permission by doing change mode 755 wget star. So the file is now executable. I could just say wget, and then this, it will just go to the side, and then it will just download that one. And it says, and I cannot write to this directory because the directory is protected. Right now, I just don't want to override it. So notice that the directory is root. I don't want to download the same file, so I just protected the permission. But if I change this permission, let me just show you. You change the permission because it's for learning. I don't want to just introduce something and then stop there. So let me just do sudo su, and then now I'm going to be on the same directory with my profile without switching to root. If I put dash here or dash root, then it will change my profile. And then that means I would drop to /root directory. So get end password root, you can see that it is root is this is the home directory. If I had done a dash here, that would have changed my profile. And then this is for Wahid. It is this one, so I am on that directory where I was already CD to there. So now if I go here and say, make the ownership of this one, change owner Wahid, since Wahid has access to that directory, now because of read, write, execute, the back is there, I can write to this directory. I don't need to change the group to permission or anything. So now I exit out of this one, I go to back directory, and now I say patch this. Now I read the file this. That means I can read, write, execute there. So I just showed you. And then how I know that I can execute by running this wget, and then that will just download the Anaconda. And it is fast because I have a 1.5 gigabit interface, even though this is just actually connected to the through Wi-Fi, and then the Wi-Fi still is 500 meg or larger. So it is getting that file, whatever size, is almost a gig in less than a minute, and it's right now it's getting downloaded. And you can see I could do a time to time it, but I don't need to. Since I know that it's there fast. So file store and disk usage minus such Anaconda, you can see the size of it is about 1.1 gig, right? That's 1.1 gig right there. So we downloaded it, but I don't need it. So I don't want to use the space. I'm going to say rm anaconda.sh, remove it. Now we just removed it. Okay. Just to show you how to do wget.sh. You could also do curl and then the name of the file. Curl has the option of -o for option to write it to a file and do that one. So most of the time, whether you want to do the wget or download it from browser or anything, it's your choice. And then here I'm doing this file. Since we did it, this file, notice that this file by default comes out with the permission. So I'm going to do a -l. -L, so you can see the permissions is read write by the owner and read by group and read by others. That means if I could say run it here, this is not executable. So it is not, look, when I press tab, it's not recognizing it. It says, no, you need to change the permission. But if I say bash -X or sh -X, Anaconda, this one I can just type it in because this says execute this one and as the command line. So it will run it, but notice that all these definition, because there's a set -X option there, it will just show you which command is running currently and what is it doing, and right now is reading the dummy variable. So I'm going to Control C out of it, so it is much cleaner if you just run it from the command line like this and say change mode. U plus X makes that Anaconda this script executable. So if I say Anaconda, now it is showing in a color. The reason it shows in color because the permissions are written and then to read, write, execute. You can also use stat on Anaconda to get a statistic on this file to say what type of file it is. It's a regular file and it has a block of this amount and then the size of it, and then Anaconda is the name of the file, and then the permissions are read, write, execute by owner, read by group, and read by others. So you can get a lot of it, and this is the equivalent to read, write, execute 7 for the owner, group 400, and then 400 for others. So the permission you can do also another way to do it. Like example, if I say change mode 644 Anaconda, and notice that this just changed it back to that what it was. So if I say stat here Anaconda, and then you can see that the permission changed just now. That is the permission, and then all the changes that you're doing it is getting a timestamp there updated there. So this is the detail of what's going on behind the scene. And you can also run the strace command to just get more function calls and everything. And Solaris, we used to do trace, and then on Linux is strace. So like, for example, here you could just do a strace, and then that command, all the function calls and arguments are passed here, is showing. And finally, the output is $ closing $ status 0, and then closing all the file handle that it is there. This is a little bit more of what I should show you. But normally when people show you, they don't show you the detail of it. And when I say full course, obviously I want to cover as much as possible in one session. But to make a video full course and I claim that I have covered everything, it's impossible. No matter how much we cover, these software companies that are thousands of people are working on it for years. They are just still doing a lot of work. So, and you just do it on Red Hat, on Linux Ubuntu, Linux Rocky, or Windows operating system, Python, just to claim that we are doing everything to cover you, zero to hero. That doesn't sound right. But what I'm trying to say is zero to hero, meaning that you don't know anything about Anaconda to get it started. You don't know how to download it, and you don't know how to use it, how to install the software, how to do that. And then once you install it, how to create a virtual environment, and then how to use the software to do all the functionality that Anaconda provides it. And then if you need a further reference, whether you want to do it on Kali Linux or Windows or another platforms, or make a different virtual environment, obviously there's a lot of documentation and references, and you're using these videos to just jump back and forth so you understand the detail of it as things are changing, because software is always a dynamic. It's evolving. It's not like the ecosystem of Python is really huge. And so one person cannot just say, I did it and you're done with it. You just have to grow with it and learn. Learning never stops. So let's get back to the Anaconda. Now we have it, all the option. I wanted to show you change mode 744 and then Anaconda. That one is now changed the permission back to user read, write, execute, and then group read, and then others read. So if I say stat Anaconda, it's the same thing. Now the permissions are that. Okay. And then notice the timestamp as it goes. So if I type in date 48 second and just change it, and now we're at that time. So let's go back here. But now, since I want to run this one and I want to install it, you have option to install it as a user or install it as a system. If you want to install it as system, you better just become root. And if you want to just install it as regular user, you're welcome to just install it as a regular user. So it's your choice. If you install it as regular user, then you have option to install it under home Wahid, or I mean, yours is obviously whatever's user ID and name that is going to return, you do that one. Okay, ID by default, when you do that A, it is telling you the user ID and numbers. And then if you want it in name, ID dash U is just the user ID number. ID dash G, the group ID number. But if you want to do ID dash UN and name and ID dash group name, you will see it group name. So I'm showing you those information because maybe I covered on other ones, but it's just a kind of review to get started with this. So now we have this script, and then I want to just run it as a regular user to see what I can do here without becoming root. If you don't have root access, you could still do this one, right? So now I say, run this script Anaconda. Remember Anaconda, this script is there. So I'm going to say Anaconda and tab it. Now, since the permission is there, it's going to prompt for me. It says, welcome to Anaconda 2024. But the version is 10.1. And then in order to continue, you just have to read the license. So you press enter, you just keep pressing spacebar to read all the options here, and then the license, and then at some point you just acknowledge, say, yes, I want to accept that license term. So if you don't accept it, it's going to exit out. And then now it says, yeah, this is the home directory that you want to install it. And that's since home Wahid is there, it's creating an Anaconda 3 directory. I say that's good. You can, if you just want to go install it somewhere else, it says that here, that you can just specify a different path. But that path is good for me. I just press enter. And then now the prefix -- prefix on this installation, it is picking up that directory. So that is on the script.sh. There's a -- prefix says that whatever the user specify, read that one and then install it in that path. So I'm telling you a little bit details of those scripts because I have worked for many years on these, more than 30 some years on the software engineering as a computer scientist. I have done my Bachelor of Science and Master of Science as in computer science. I graduated in '94 from Cal State Fullerton, and then later on I attended for my master's degree at Cal State Fullerton for computer science. In '97, 2 years later, I graduated for my master's degree there for computer science. And I had taught a lot of courses at universities level, whether it's Cal State Fullerton itself or Computer Learning Center or National University or Pasadena City College. I have taught a lot of courses related to computer science, programming language, operating system, database, Oracle, MySQL, you can name it, compilers, and then a lot of Python courses, a lot of C and C++ courses, and a lot of Bash scripting. So, and within 8 years part-time working on these environments, at the same time worked full-time at the industrial level. And the last 22 years, I'm an enterprise system analyst at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in NASA. And on my weekends and holidays and then vacation days, I provided these YouTube channels because when I was teaching at Pasadena City College, one of the students was asking me, Wahid, is there like a way that I can get uh, videos or are actually the book in PDF formats. And the reason was that he couldn't afford it. And I felt sorry for him. I know that we have to have empathy because I went through the same pain when I was going through college. I couldn't afford to buy the books. I had to go in the libraries and everything. So I just wrote a Python program that generated 32,000 programs, actually 32,000 PDF files, and you can see here, they're on my website, MyWebUniversity.com, and it's all of these ones are available for you. So if you need a Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9, you don't need to go to a enterprise log into a Red Hat a virtual machine or a Linux server that's Red Hat. Similarly for Rocky, similarly for Ubuntu. So if you, or Windows even. So if you just go there, like Red Hat, you just need it for this thing. You just come in, there's about 12,000 some PDF file my Python program generated, and they're all from section 1 all the way to section 9. So this is all section 8, section 9, section 5, whatever section is there, you could search for it. So if you're looking for Python, for example, you just control F here and say Python, and then Python 3.1, this PDF file comes in, you just read the whole PDF file. At the click of a button, you just are reading the whole thing. And some of the people that they made kind of like a very nice comment. This is God bless you, Wahid. This is some treasure that I found. Now I don't have to buy books. Basically, you could just go and just read the whole thing. The nice thing about this one is, like, let's say you're learning Python and you say, well, this is only 12 pages. That's not enough. Yeah, it is not enough, but notice that the code reusability of my Python script. If I just say Control F and search for HTTPS, and then HTTPS, notice python.org PSF is there, python.org website, python.org downloads and docs, and then all of python.org. Each one of them docs.python.org, it takes you there. And now you have hundreds of thousands of other PDF and HTML pages that are there. The whole tutorial is there. So if you just want to get a tutorials on Python, you're welcome to just go like interactive mode, learn Python to run interactive commands. Here's the output and all the scripts that you do, right? So at the same time, if you just say, well, how about just clicking on just a list? How do you generate a list? Here's the square, and then you create these ones. And then if you want to call math.square on those ones and get the square root of it or power of it, all of that one is at the click of a button, okay? Similarly, if you just come in here, say, well, hey, this is good, do I have the same thing for, let's say, GCC, for example, and then, yeah, you could come in here and say GCC, and then a PDF file is available, and then that is about 679, 78 pages. Notice that I give credit to MyWebUniversity, Python software, which I wrote it. I use Python interpreter to write this one. I also use FPDF free libraries, and that is comes with Python that you can install it actually. It doesn't come as a default. You have to install this library and then write your code to generate a very nice page like this, and then just do it. And then here also you can do, let's say, for example, Open MPI. Let's see if there's anything with Open MPI. Did not find. Let's see anything with Open. Yeah, there's a few 20, and there's a lot of them. So Open ECC, let's see. Yeah, OpenECC is there. So like sometimes these pragma for OpenECC, OpenMP, MPI for parallel processing, parallel computing on the supercomputing environment, you need these kind of functionality and features that you can do on GPUs kind of computation to run multiple program and in parallel and thousands of compute node. So the possibility is endless. I'm just telling you that this. If you just say, for example, on the one that I search here, you could say, go to Linux Ubuntu dynamic and say, let's search for Python here. Similar to this one, if I click here, you can learn the whole bash scripting and everything through the manual pages that I showed you. The manual page is available for you, but however, when you click on this page, it is going to take a little bit time sometimes because of refreshing it. And then the way I'm hosting the server, yeah, it is coming here now. You see, this file bash.pdf, it's a huge file. It is giving you 87 pages of this PDF file. And if you just say, well, that is good, and is there like HTTPS here? HTTPS here, it is not finding anything with HTTP and or HTTPS. So what you could do is search for, let's say, Python. Say Python, and then you say, now generate the Python. It is going to generate this on dynamically for you. You click on it and now go to read the whole thing, or just say go to this URL, because again, code reusability is going to give you that information. So if I want to go to docs.org and then I want to see the reference, now all the libraries that are there, including pandas, Python, and NumPy, all of that one are there. You can see all these modules. So you can, you don't have to be on in front of a computer. All you need is in front of a browser and internet access. So NumPy, if you want to do it or something, let's see if this is all the methods. Let's see if there's one for Python, how-tos, Python language reference, and most likely under language reference, we can find all the modules that are there, Lambda functions and all of that one. And then Control F and say NumPy, and see right here, it's not finding it either. So the way you do it, you could go under the docs.python.org. Docs is here, and installing Python modules. This is a list of modules. And then you can also search for and the index of Python indexing. And so general index, and you can see, for example, NumPy under N, and then most likely NumPy should be somewhere here. Control F and search for NumPy. It is not showing. That is kind of odd. NumPy. So that is a reference. And then if I just did not find anything here, I could say type in under the search NumPy. And then here, most likely, yeah, array and all the NumPy methods and other ones are there. And you could do that one. And there's another way you could do also is by just going to HTTPS numpy.org website itself, and this is going to take you there, all the NumPy available for you here. And watch my NumPy modules and other ones, or if you just need like pandas, for example, you go to pandas.org or something. So let's see if HTTPS pandas.org is there. And this is taking us to a GoDaddy, so maybe it's panda.com or something. Let me just search for this one, since we're talking. We already did the Anaconda, so panda.org. Yeah, so it's panda.org. And this one is just the regular panda. This might not be the panda we are talking about. Pandas, or this is the animal panda, the fluffy panda. So this is not the one that we want to do this one. But remember, the option is endless. There's most likely a URL for it, and then I'm not interested to find each one of those URLs, because when you need to do that one, you could find it one way or another one. And let me show you what I mean by one way or another one here. So I'm going to just go ahead first, log in back here. And then now we have installed it. It says, okay, config dash set auto files conda. So right here, it says that if you want to just configure it, you can also do conda config dash set auto base false. If we do this one, most likely our .bash or C script does not get set, but if you would prefer that conda based environment not be activated on startup. So this is what you would do, set that one to false. But at the same time, we can always deactivate it. So you can either set this one now or later. You have the option, but let's just leave it as it is. The default one that they see that it's there. You can do this by running conda init and then a reverse $shell. So I'm going to just take the default option of no. And then to install conda shell function, or easier, this one, now it says thank you for installing it, and conda is installed. So if I just say which conda here, it's not going to find it. Why it doesn't find it? Because I have already opened my environment, and then in the directory that I actually installed it was under Anaconda. And notice that we had already opened the environment. So if I go to the Anaconda here, there's these directories, the lib stuff, and then so under the lib is all the libraries, right? The shared objects. So if I just do this one, it's the list of this. The bin is the binaries that are there for what we use conda and other ones, right? So there's on the Linux side is bin, and then on the PowerShell and Windows is scripts directory where this is. So if I say bin slash conda, for example, it's going to show the bin is under conda. So if I do a cd to bin here and do ls conda or spider, and then all of those ones are there. So let's say list Jupyter star. So all of the one that is start with Jupyter, asterisk is meaning Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Console, Jupyter Notebook. All of them are going to list here. And then the spider you can see is there, and then Anaconda Navigator itself is there. So ls Anaconda, I could say Anaconda, and then right here dash, and then let's see, we say a star is gonna list it, say Anaconda Navigator is there, Anaconda project and Anaconda. So if I want to just run the navigator, I have to be on a graphical interface to just run that one. And then once you install this one, that is the option there. But notice that if I say /conda, since I'm on a bin directory right here, I have not activated my environment. I say /conda and then say info-e, it's going to show my environment. I'm on a base directly. So /conda list is going to show my environment and that these are exported. So /conda and then say list in Python, it will just show everything related to Python. If I want to just only get this Python version, which is 3.12, notice that if I say which Python on this environment is Python user bin Python. And if I say Python -- version, it is going to say 3.9 there. But with Anaconda, the version that I'm running here, Python -- version, it is 3.12. So if I say Python, get to the system, and then say import sys.version, notice the 3.9.16 is the one from Anaconda. And then sys.executable is the path to where this current directory is. And then if I just say exit out of this one, let's just close this environment, and then we activate it by coming back to it. So ID-UN is there. My default is there's a .bash or C here. If my .bash or C, I do a grep -I Honda on .bash or C, my environment has nothing to do with bash or C there. So then I could just say, well, let's just relog into it by just opening another terminal, say, which Conda, and it is not showing on the path. So I could add my path to that one. That way I could get the environment there. So how do I do that one? If you didn't do the steps at the time of the Conda and you just are opening another terminal, most likely the path to Conda is not here by default. So I could say, well, activate it there. I could just go there and start it. So let's do that. So right here, I am already on that directory, right? I'm already on the Anaconda, this Anaconda tree. So I am on this directory. That's the directory I want to add it on my path. I could also do something like this: export a path is equal, and then just say $ path followed by home Wahid Anaconda, all lowercase, sorry, home Wahid Anaconda $3/bin. Now echo $ path. You can see that it is set to that. So even though I'm right here, if I say which Conda now should find the path of where the Conda is. So which spider, it's going to say where the path of spider is. And then I could say Conda info, and then dash env, or just -e for short. It will show me my environment. So notice that I'm not on the base. I could just activate it by here, say Conda activate or Conda activate, and then just base here. And then now base is activated, run Conda init before Conda activate. So we could say Conda init, and it will activate it for us, setting up the environment. Now this one might just add the entry for it, because notice under etc profile conda.c shell is added, and then .bash or C was modified. You can see here. So that means I could just say home Wahid.bash or C, and then notice the timestamp of that one is the start of that. Let me see detail here, and then I say stat.bash or C. You can see that the file got modified. So what is updated with, it's a grep -I conda on the bash or C. This time we get information saying that now your conda environment is there. So if I just do exit out of this one and just open another terminal, and then now notice by default my bash or C ran, and it is there. That is there. Since we did the execution here, we could also say, since I'm there, I already did the conda init. I could also say source.bash or C, and this will set my environment. And now, because I sourced it, and then its base changed. So whether I open a new terminal, it will do it. If I just say conda deactivate, and then now I'm back on my default shell. And then if I just open a terminal, it is automatically run my bash or C. So I am already there. If I close this one, notice this one is not base. Now I can say conda activate, not, sorry, yeah. I'm gonna do source the bash or C. That would be like going activate the base. So now since we have it on the dash bash or C script, we have the base. Conda info dash E is giving, sorry, conda info dash E give me the environment. Dash dash environment is the longer version. Dash E is short. So dash S is the system information on it, and dash dash the system is the longer name here. So and then you could say conda dash dash JSON to get all the JSON information. Notice the JSON is it start with a structure of dictionary data structure, and then it has arrays like here. The dictionary start here, keep here values, and then all of a sudden, then you have a list within and this the data dictionary, and then another list and another dictionary, and so on, all the way to until you close the last dictionary that are on the bottom, right there. So you could see that one, and then with the commands that you could say, if I want to know how you know these commands, it's easy. Just say conda and you just specify no argument. It will tell you all the arguments with the option that are there. And then dash dash help or dash h for help, you could get more further information. So conda dash h would give you the information, this page, or conda dash dash help will give you this. So what if you want to say, what are the option of conda config? How did you know that config comes out with what option, right? And then like for example, dash dash show then channels. So how do I know that that is an option that by default has it? So you could say, and instead of this, you could say dash dash help, and then it will give you those options here. You have dash dash add, dash set, and then each one of them could take further arguments. So if you say conda info dash dash help, now you get the syntax of dash E for environment, dash dash environment, dash S for system, and so on. So now we have done this one. Notice that I have conda dash E, conda info dash E is giving me, I have a base. I'm going to just create a new environment. I could call it a virtual environment. Aside from base, I'm going to create one more environment. In order to do that, then you could say conda create dash dash name or short dash name, whether you type in the longer one or dash name. So I'm going to say, I'm going to install Python 3.10, let's say, another version 3.10. And then right here, and then they say Python 3.10. So right here, I'm going to specify the version as Python 3.10. By default, if you don't give the version name, it is there. But here that is a minus name. Now I'm going to say Python 3, and now I corrected the syntax. What I meant was saying that the name of my environment is Python 3.10. The package that I want to install for Python is 3.10 version. So that is the correct syntax, and now it's going to go through it and it's going to create it. And then it says these are the other packages that are found here that are part of it. Do you want to continue? Yes, I continue. Now I'm creating that Py 3.11 as a package. So if you're a developer and you're a developer on Red Hat, and so how do you know the system is Red Hat? etc os-release is going to tell you that you're running on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. The version is 9.2, and the distribution is Fedora distribution, and all the details are there. You can also type in uname-r for build version, and then the uname-o for, S for the system name, dash kernel name will give you the same thing, kernel name would give you that, or a uname-o for operating system, uname-m for machine type, and then uname-p for platform. So all of that one is there. What you need is this file os-release, and then you know that you're on a Red Hat Enterprise 9.2. All the details are there, right? The only thing that was not there, uname-r revision or build name is there. So let's see if we can just, why am I showing you this one now? We have done it, and we say, okay, let's check on the environment now. Conda, we are going to run, say, info-e. Now this one, it tells you that you have two environments, but I'm on base here. If I say conda activate, now all I have to type in Python 310, because this is base, and then I want to change it to 310. 310 is the name of the environment that I created earlier. I'm going to change my environment. Notice, since I said activate 310, it just changed my base to 310. Now I'm on that directory of home directory, but it's still under 310. There's more information. Notice that as under Anaconda Python 310, this is basically the path to that one. So if I say conda list, and then I just want to do a search only for Python, you could say single quote and core start with Python and then $. So they understand Anaconda or Conda command lines understand regular expression. This encore means start with, $, ends with. So now it's going to show the version of Python 3 this. If I say start with that, and then I don't care how many other names are there, it's going to look for it. But if, let's say I say, just show me all the Python things. And then you see that there's not more than that. But let's see if I search for pandas. So I have not installed pandas yet. It will not come up. I say search for NumPy. It is not there, right? So what does that mean? That means I have to say, I want to install them. I want to install them, says conda. Let me clear the screen here and only show you this. You could say conda list, and then grep -i. I could say it's either panda or pep or request or NumPy. Any of those ones are found listed. Only pep is found here. So let's see if this syntax without the grep it works with the options. So conda list, conda already works with regular expression. The or statement works. This one was not working on a Windows command prompt. It works on Linux as well as PowerShell. PowerShell and Linux understand regular expression. Windows command prompt does not understand PowerShell. Just letting you know that. So if you're not seeing that one on a command prompt, be careful, because Windows command prompt does not, the DOS does not support regular expression. But notice here, conda list, and then I'm using the or statement. It found those ones there. So how do I install the one that are not there? You just say conda install NumPy, for example. And then before I do this one, let's just say conda and then say config dash dash show, and then I say channels. So I want to see what channels I have there. And notice that the base is a default invalid channel, channels with the S. So now it says that you have only these channels, repo.conda. If I want to install something from the default channel, most likely, if it's found there, it will show me the channel name. If it is not there, then I have to add the channels there. And I'll show you how to do that. Conda install NumPy. Let's do install NumPy. It's gonna look for it and now already found out NumPy on the base channels and the default one and is doing it here. So now say conda run the same list that earlier I did, and now pet and numpy is there. So numpy base was also a dependency that was added here. Now I'm going to add another channel here, conda config dash dash show channels, and then this time I'm going to add instead of show, I'm going to say add. And then right here is the name of the channel is Conda-Forge. Conda-Forge is like to forge off or fork off some additional channels. So that way you could see it. Now, since I did that one, the show channels is going to show, say, in addition to the base that I had, the main, I also have Conda Forge. So under the Forge, there's thousands of other things. So you could now say, Conda search NumPy, and then if you just search for NumPy, for example, earlier on the docs, I said there's other ways. There's other ways you can search. You don't have to go to conda.org and then search it. You can do on the search button on the default one. If you go here, say, and go to conda.org or anaconda.org, and then search it. There's search button on their page. Let me just say anaconda.org. And then right here, do you see the search? You can search for NumPy, for example, or request or anything. It's going to show you all the channels and then the platform that is there and then where it is found. It will just be available for you. You can just copy it or download it. That way you can get it too. But the easy way is to use the command line because it's very intuitive there also. So whether you use for that one or you use for, let's say, something like TensorFlow, you could search for AI stuff or data scientists. So it did not search for that one. Let me search for Tensor. Can't even type in what's going on. Okay. Yeah. So right here, the Tensor Conda Forge, Tensor Board, and Tensor that, Tensor this, all of those ones, Tensor Base, all of them are there. So you could do that one. Let me just close this one. I'm going to be back here. Notice that the Conda NumPy, it shows that the Conda Forge is there, on the package main is there, so all of that are there. And remember the one that I showed you on this environment, what other package we could install. Since I did this grep command or just regular expression, not egrep, I did that one. We know that pep was there, the version is there, and then request I'm going to install next. So conda install request. It is actually with S request, but this is inside here. It will search any name that start with the word is a request. So right now I'm installing that one and I say yes, go ahead and install it. And then there you go, and it's installed. Now I have to say run the same command, clear screen, run the same command here. And say conda and this, now it's going to show also request is there. And then if I say conda install, pandas. And this time I just say -y, so it's not gonna prompt me. It automatically go ahead and finds it and install it. So you do have option of -y, whether you type it or you just confirm it to make sure that it's the package that you want. Now it's installed, and the clear screen here, we have installed those packages, so all of them should be listed. You see request is there, pandas is there. So how do I know that the version that are there, how do I confirm that one with Python? This one, remember that I said that this is Python 3.10, because we activated that one, say Python dash version is gonna say I am on 3.10 version. Python dash V is gonna say that Conda dash version is gonna tell me the Conda version. Pep and dash version is gonna show me the Pep version for this environment 3.10. And then when I say, let's say I want to just confirm these other ones, I did this conda list and wanted those ones. But if I say conda list, there's a lot more than that, right? So I could say word count minus L. There's like just on this one is 57 packages or libraries that are installed. Read line, request, and TBB and SQLite and so on. So now let's say I want to do this one and say with this list that are there, I want to get into Python. Dash V was showing me 3.10, so I'm going to get to 3.10, and that is here, right here, Python 3.10, and then the version is 3.10. If I say import sys, then now sys dot executable. Now you can see that it's under Python 3.10, the binary that I started, it is started from here. Sys.path, it is telling me where my path for the site packages and all of that one, or the environments that I wanted to use it. So if I just say sys.platform, this is a platform for Linux. And then sys version is 3.10. You can see it is 3.10. Sys version info, you can see it is major is 3 and minor is this. And sys show versions, and there's another one. If this one is not there, show version is not recognized there. But let's just do something else. So we say import pandas as PD, and then now if I say dir of PD, you can see that show versions might be right here. Show version is one of the method that is defined on PD. So now if I say PD.show versions, and this is going to give me all the Python Panda version here. But at the same time, I could say panda.double_version, and that one will just return that one also. The reason is because this is a dir is going to give you a list of all the pandas and all the modules, sys and other ones that are already loaded, because I did these two import them. If I exit out of this one and say run the Python again, now I do a dir, PD and sys is not there. We loaded those ones. So now if I say import numpy as np, and then say, and now np.double_version, that's going to show that version. Import PD pandas as PD, and then PD.double_versions version, and it's going to tell me that one. But because the show_version on the PD is also there, you can also get that one. In addition, you can also say import OS, and then you don't have to get out of Python. You can be inside of Python and run the command os.system, and say the command name is conda list, and then let's say pandas. So if you want to get that one, you can see that Panda version is 2.2. If you want to get NumPy, you get that one. And then if you remember that OR statement, it might still work on inside the OS system, but be careful with the regular expression and all those other options. Sometimes a bit like a double quote here with NumPy and then double quote. This may work, but it may not. Yeah, it did work. So if the interpretation is that OS system call some of these filtering that you just pass it on, the regular expression is not understood, it will not work. So you have to be outside in the actual operating system to run it. But if it works, why not run it? It is some people, they act like, oh, they are expert for security and this and that. They write this information. Please don't just discourage people for using the same method programmatically. One user actually was suggesting something that I open a URL and multiple URLs, and he felt somehow, oh, this is too much of security or dangerous for people to do it. It is nothing. It is just the same page that you go to Google using a browser. You just open it with program multiple session of it. You can do that one. It's not a problem at all. As long as you have I/O and memory and resources, and you're not bottlenecking it with opening it, opening 2 or 3 or 5 kind of like website on a browser, it's a piece of cake for a system to handle it. And if you don't have memory or resources, obviously, that system will just be too slow for even one process that connect to the web server. And so let's say we are going to talk here. I'm gonna just say we did that NumPy and everything. Remember that panda dot show underscore versions give you more details of additional dependencies like the standards and so on, all those ones here, and then NumPy and other ones that are there, and you will get the detail of it there as well. So inside here, once you're here, you could say import requests as a rec, for example. And then let's say we want to just open a page, a URL page or something. You could do that one and say, for example, let's do that one on the command line here, and then we just say R is equal rec.get, and then we say the URL is let's say https://google.com. So you just open that one, and now r.okay, if it is okay, yes, it is okay. R.status code, it's going to give you 200. R.url is going to do that one. Then you can just open that one with a browser or a command line. So if I just want to open it on OS, since os.system is there, you could just say os.system, and then right here you could say open. And then let's just put our command line Chrome browser, for example, or there's also, you could say os.system, and then there's a binary called xdg-open. This comes on a Linux environment. If you didn't install Firefox or didn't have Chromium or anything, then you could at least use this one. Notice that xdg is there. So if I say which xdg, it will tell me the path of it. If you want to just run it like that, then you could say cmd is equal, and then say xdg-open, and then space, so you can pass on the next argument, and then you say here os.system, and then say cmd, and then plus, and then what is the command that we want to open? And the URL that we want to open is https://google.com, and then If I just do this one, that's good enough, but I could also pass on additional argument to just say, don't give me that $0 or output that's there. So now you see it opened this one. And now if I close it, and this is just output from the browser, so you press enter and then you're done with this one. If you just want to do additional argument, say, well, while you're doing this one, and then maybe plus the next argument would be this one is slash to assign it to dev null. That means that send this error, standard error output to the dev null or dev zero, whichever one you want to do it, it will just truncate it. So and that is did not work because of this. Let's see what is the reason. So we could do here plus 2 greater sign dev null. Yeah, this is passing it like that. Maybe the greater sign is not understood, but I'm gonna do it dev slash null here, and then one argument, and then we don't have to add a gauge. If it doesn't work that way, it will not. It did. So this was accurate, and now you don't see any error after this. So if I say os.system, and then say clear screen, and then now notice that if I run this one, it's going to just open there. And then similarly, if I just say, and instead of that one, I could say, let's say I want to say the command is Chromium dash browser. And then I want to put a space here, so it define it. It opens Chromium dash browser somewhere there. And if I just change this URL to, let's say, just open nasa.gov, it will just open nasa.gov page. And you can see I'm on nasa.gov page and everything about Jet Propulsion Laboratory, NASA, you could open it. So if I just say, just open jpl.nasa, which stands for Jet Propulsion Laboratory. That's where I work the last 22 years as enterprise system analyst. And I'm very honored to work there. I am very happy, and there's a lot of great professional. This is the place that is like maybe 50 different big projects, and all the projects are with Mars science stuff, and Jupiter, Juno, and then Cassini, and then a lot of them, Moon and Earth, and all those projects are robotic stuff, and you can just go to the multimedia and start learning there. So on the OS system, we showed you this, and then you could do a lot of the URLs on there with the request method. So you can create a URL and then as a list, for example, and do that one also. So let's just do that one inside other stuff. So I'm deactivating this one. I'm going to say deactivate, Conda deactivate. Conda deactivate does not take any argument. So now I'm back on base. On the list, you can see I'm there, and then Conda list Python, and then Python is the one that was installed, Python dash B or version, and then I'm at that one. So if I say go to Python itself and say import sys dot executable, notice this one is on the main one there, under Anaconda there. And sys dot version, it is the 3.12. And then sys dot version info, it will say the same 3.12. And sys.platform, it's going to say Linux. Sys.modules, it's give you all the list of modules there. Sys.path, it gives you the path of it. So a lot of information here, right? We did go to the Python here. And now I'm going to quit out of this one or exit out of it. So now here, which spider, since the spider requires a graphical interface, if I say, go ahead and start the spider, I need to set my display if it is not set, but let's see if I have a display. My display is there. So the way you check on your display, you say extern, and it is just going to open an extern session for you. By default, the color is white and black text on it. If you just say extern minus background, and then I say, let's make it like 35 for dark red, and then with green and blue, we don't have anything, and then you could just say minus font foreground white, for example, or you just type in pound FFF. 3F is like 6F, and then minus font face is New York, let's say, New York, and then I like that. Minus font size is like 15. And then we could say ampersand and just ampersand it. And now we open this thing, and then you could run Conda list here. It will just give you the same information that we were getting Conda dash version or pep dash version. Pep list would give you that, right? So notice pep list word count minus L. The syntax of pep list and conda list, or a pep command followed by the arguments, and then or conda command followed by the arguments, it is the same, but the environment, the repository are different. Notice a pep list, we got 365, and then conda, because we installed some stuff, we get it there. So pep has a lot of other packages that you can download, a lot more than conda. But in this case, I'm just installing a lot of stuff under conda, not under pep, but you have an option to install it from either one of them. Pep is the default one for Python. So let's get to back to that example. If I just close this one, I could also store this one with a different color. And instead of 15, I'm going to do 13. 15 was too big. And then I'm going to change it to 00 for red and 35 for darkish green kind of color. And that is not a little bit dark. I'm going to just make it maybe 25. That's darker, so I like it like that, but it's still the size is big. And so I'm going to change the size. When you did ampersand, you are getting a process back. So here I'm going to say, okay, I am there. I'm going to be my base directory, and then under Wahid config, conda dash conda info dash E, you will see the list is there. I'm on the base. So I'm going to say which conda it is, which conda it is telling me that is a function that is there. But they say which spider, it is giving me the path. Which spider, not which spider, which Jupyter, it is going to tell you that Jupyter there. When Jupyter Lab is there, which Jupyter notebook, all of them that are there. So that means if I have my display already set, echo $, display, it's already set, and then my home Wahid.x authority file already has the option that I can just X authority. Okay, so that is not listed, that's fine. I just do echo $display, and since I can open external, it's fine. I can just run extern here, or I could just do here. So if I say, go ahead, run spider, notice that the spider is going to come with that interface there. And then right here, I have to just start coding. So if I want to do something here on the spider, I can run the spider, and I can also get this interface. Notice here for the plot of it, for everything. You can do as much as you want on this one. On the editorial, you could write it, or you could just go on the console and just run your commands. Like for example, pwd, you could see it and say conda list, and it will just do that one. And at the same time, if you say conda list and then Python, it will just do that. So whatever command you type in, you could do this one. You could also run, let's say here, say bang, and then say clear screen, and then that would just clear the screen. So let me just close this one. I don't want to upgrade. And right here, you have these options under consoles. You can open new console, and it will just add here. So right here, if you say for a statement, say for num, and a range of numbers. So let's say range of 10 numbers. Let's do 11. Actually, 5 of them. I don't want to do too many. Let's do 5. 5 not including. You say write, not write, print, and then the fs string, we could say fs string followed by the brace, and then a num, and then closing it, and then colon, and say hello world. So if you just want to do that one as a simple test, you can see that that program runs fine. And then this screen, you can resize it, and you can see that for num is there, and then do that one. At the same time, you have option to do it right here, the source code. You can open a file and write the whole thing here. So if I just say, for example, just create a x is equal, and then say x for x in range of 100, and then you say 100 fx mod 2 mod 2 is equal to 0. Let me just move this thing a little bit on the side so you can see the whole thing. And then here we say fx mod 2 is equal 0. So this one generated number even numbers between 0 to 100. And now all that we have to do is say x, and then print the x value. If I run it here, it will just say, do you want to run it? I say yes, run it. And now this one is what is it doing? X for x in range of 100, fx mod 2 is equal this. And I'm gonna do a print x, and then run it here again. And you see here it generated there. And then if I want to do further stuff on it, I could just do import matplotlib, and then as pyplot, and then just plot that value if I want to do it. So the way you do it is right here, say import matplotlib as import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, and then say plt dot plot, and then say x, and then plt dot show, and then x. So let's see if that quick sample here. Now the output is showing on the plot here, and that's where you see that. You click on the plot and you see the output here. And obviously, if you want to do sine, cosine, all of those ones, just watch my other videos on those ones. And I don't want to get into the spider forever. But here on the spider, you have the option to write code to just do anything. So like, let's say I want to just this time write a for statement. I'm gonna just run a list of commands to open a few URLs. So let's create a URL first. Say URL, I'm gonna say URLs in uppercase. Doesn't matter where you write it, uppercase, lowercase. I just choose to do it that way. That's fine. URLs, and then we could say, let's say I'm gonna say HTTPS, and then I say python.org, and then followed by HTTPS. Let's say youtube.com/at my web university, and then followed by right here I need a comma because that's another line, and followed by another URL. Let's say HTTPS. Let's say we're gonna go to nasa.gov. So those three, if I want to just open those three, let's say those are my favorite ones, and I want to just go to those ones and want to practice some stuff or learn some stuff, you can automate it. You can have 5 of them, or you could add 3 of them, 4 of them, whichever one you choose. Now I say, okay, so that is my URL. If I just want to print that one, say for you or for URL and URLs, if I say print URL, just to make sure that you get the list of the URLs, you could just run this one and you get the output somewhere here. And let's see what is the error is showing. And terminated codes string. So somewhere I forgot to close the code. HTTPS this that. Let's see where it is. Line 10. Line 10 is there for URL and URLs. Print. Okay. So this one, when you do a print statement, you have to put the code around the URL. So right there, I have to say code, and then there. That's line 10. And there, and then just run it. Now it opens, and this one and terminated codes around line 10, or this time it is running it. Let's see. I'm gonna say file save as, just to save it, and then it is on this directory config there. I could save it under my Python programs directory. It would be better under Wahid directory. And then if I don't have a home directory or something, I could call it this one. So let's call it tim.py as it is there. And then now let's run it here. And terminated triple quote this. So how do you know if this is a typo or something that is missing or not? Let's just check it. So here it says on line 10, print. Okay, yeah, because we're not saying anything there and say print URL for URL and URLs. URLs is there, and then what is going on here? Why is it not just printing for URL and print URL? The version it's there, URLs, a list, simple list. This maybe because of these ones or not understood through these spaces, I'm gonna have to put it into a list like in one line, so it does not get confused. Normally you can skip it or the backslash, or a spider might just have it. Remember earlier I mentioned that you have to sometimes within this different application do it differently. Let's see, we call it the temp again and then save it. say temporary, do you want to replace it? Yes. And then run it. Line it and detect it, okay? So there's something on the typo there on line 8 this time is still complaining about this URL. So let me just rewrite this statement here for URL and URLs, which is that one, and then print. I'm gonna try this one and just say for you and URLs, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Print here. So this one is just having the name already in code. That's why I didn't write it in the first place. Save all, and then we run it. And this time, detect it. Unterminated letter of string detected in line 8. Something is wrong there. Let me just see on the terminal. I'm gonna cut and paste this line here first to make sure that this line is working. So I copy this one, say copy, and then right here paste it. And that is now URLs are there. It is all the 3 of them are there. And so if I just want to do it from here, I could say for a URL and URLs print a URL. So when something doesn't work like that, you can test it interactively. Somehow the interpreter is line 8 is keep complaining about this when it was not a typo. So if I just cut and paste this line here and say, okay, that this worked on the other one, let's make sure that it works here too for URL and URLs, and then print. Print. Maybe there's some invisible character that I didn't catch it before. Maybe this thing should work. We're gonna say file, save all, and then run it. And notice it still says unterminated. So that is a spider issue that it is saying that there's 3 codes, but on the top there's some extra information that is left over. So the spider editorial, those ones are not supposed to be having as junk. Sometimes you could say, well, what is your interpreter that you're running? You could do that one, but now it's gonna work. See here, it works. So I could have also say here on the interpreter, say shebang user ben env and then Python. That would also work there. So now I save it, say save, and then I just run it, and it will work now. Name URL is not defined. What happened to the rest of the code? It just somehow got lost. And when I saved it, it is this one is I'm gonna cut and paste this URL again here that I did right there. Somehow when we saved it, it just messed the rest of them. So let's just add it here again. And then whether you put it within the one line or another one, that should have not been a problem. So I'm gonna just add it the way I originally had it. And then this line that was causing was the one that I took care of it. And now I'm gonna save it, and then like this. So this is how it should have been there. So I'm saying save it. And then, or you could say save as and save it as a different name, and then just say under the home Wahid, let's say call it temp1, and then under that one, so we could run it from command line also. If I just run it from command line here, You could even use the interactive Python here. So say clear here and say do this one where my directory is. I'm on that one, so I could say ls minus l temp star, and both of them are there. So shebang dot slash temp1 dot py will just say permission denied because that file is not executable. So in order to do this one, you could put Python in front of it. It knows that is Python interpreter. If you just say shebang change mode 755 temp star.py, now shebang, I mean not shebang, bang ls minus l star.py, it shows that it's executable. So now I could say temp1.py, it will just run that temp1.py and then give me the same output here. Bang here, and then that would work. So whether you do it from here or there, as long as you say Python environment, that was the problem. It was telling us line 10 when line 10 was all good. So here you could say, I don't have to print URL here, and that is not needed. So I could say files save all or save as, and whatever name I want to just give it to temp1, replace that one. You say yes, replace it. So now both files are there. And then if I want to do this one with these URLs, I could also say import here, and the second line here say import OS, and then say now since we load the OS, we say command is equal. I'm going to say xdg dash open space followed by the command that we want to open. So instead of the URL, we could say now right here, we could say for each of the command, we could just say OS, not print. We could just say os.system, and then just here we say cmd plus, and then the name of the URL, and then that would do it, just to print it like that. So let's just save it, save all, and then run, and then see if it opens it. As you see that we are now on nasa.gov, and you can go and browse and start learning anything that you're interested. And then when you're done, you can close it, and then you come back on this one, python.org, and then python.org website is everything is available for you. You can learn a lot of stuff, download software, and so on. So you're done with that one, go to my website and watch videos, and right here and go under videos, and then just watch whichever video that interests you the most, and then start subscribing to our channel, and then we're closing this one. So that's how easy it is on this one to do something like that. So whether you use code to use a Spider, or you use something else, like for example, I close this one, I go open, I don't need to open another terminal. But if I just say, well, just to identify my terminal, let's just go a blue, 0, 0, and 30 for the blue. So that's a darkish blue. Then I say conda list here, and then it will just do the same thing, clear screen, which anaconda.org. If I want to just say, not anaconda.org dash navigator, I could just start Jupyter by itself, dash lab, start the Jupyter dash lab, or start a Jupyter notebook, and then work on it, start code or something. All of them, or I could do that on which one of the Python interactivity I want to do it. If I want to change my theme to black colors, you could change it to black, darkish. Here, just click on dark, and then work on this one. And then similarly, the command here, conda list, it will just work there. So just run it, and you will get a conda list output. And then if you just change this one to pep, for example, you will get the pep version information. And if you say, give me the commands like x is equal 10, and then x print just the value of x, you can do all kind of Python code there, right? I showed you a lot of these ones. So you can close these ones and then say, yeah, I'm done with this one. Let's Control C out of this one. We say terminate it. If I did the Jupyter Lab, I could do Jupyter Notebook. Imagine how many other IDEs, integrated development environments, are available for you here. So now we're on the Jupyter Notebook, and you could do the same thing that we did there. I'm gonna close this one. You could also do Control C here, like I did a Spider. You could say, let's just start code. Which code? And then if code is not there, maybe a Visual Studio Code. If it is not there, we can start Anaconda dash navigator and navigator. This is just all the IDEs that are under Anaconda navigator. It will be available. So you start Anaconda navigator and it will be showing you there. You could also for the apps that are already installed, like Spider or Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Notebook, you can just launch them, or you could install like Visual Studio Code, PyCharm, and any other tools that are there, including the Anaconda command prompt. You can open those ones that are there. Notice here the Anaconda. So I could say, no, I don't show this again. I don't need it. And if you have not worked on it, obviously you can go through some of these options. But if you like sign in for this one, I don't want to do that one. The screen is really huge. It is just blocking it. So yeah, let's see if we could just do this one. And notice that all the screen are here are just, yeah. So now this one, I close it, and then you can have the options for this. Obviously, I could go and set up my screen resolution to look smaller, but it's good for showing you the Anaconda page here. Anaconda Navigator under PyCharm, you can install it, and then Anaconda AI Navigator, Anaconda Toolbox, Anaconda Prompt, and Anaconda stuff, right? So Python Anywhere, PyScript, you can have Jupyter, Jupyter Lab, Visual Studio Code, R Studio, and then Oracle Cloud, and all of that one, IBM stuff, everything is there. IBM AI, you can see there. So if you want to just start one of them, like Spider, you just click on launch and it will open it. Like we just showed you a Spider, you just click on launch and it will open it for you right there. And the one that are not installed, you can install it. So I'm going to close this one because we already demonstrated. And then if, let's say for code, is it Visual Studio Code? Should show up here somewhere. R Studio, and then under the environment, you have the options of clicking on the environment and launch it, a new environment, create new environment for yourself. Interactive Python, you have options, and then so on. And then obviously you have the terminal that you can also install it from the terminal. Okay. So I'm going to just go here on the environment. You can see the options that are the base environment, the Py 3.10. You can create new environment. You can just list on the Python 3.10 that we did. If you switch this one, then you can just see that one. If you want to see the root or go to learning, there's all of these ones. How it is there. Usually on the Linux, it's a little bit slower on the response. You can see I click on it, and under learning, there's so many options that there's Conda Forge, and there's a lot of documentations here. You can just learn it, Amazon Web Services, and then there's enough tools for you to do it. So under the community, if you click on the community, this is Matplotlib stuff, Anaconda Number and other ones. There's so much there. NumPy projects. There's so much, honestly. So I'm gonna close this one. Say I'm done with it. I hope you start learning from it and enjoy it and everything. And then if you need any help on it, obviously you can search it on the Google or internet or something. And if you say, well, this is good, I'm going to close this screen also. And then on this one, I could also say Conda dash navigator. Since I since I already, sorry, Claristine ID, which Conda dash Anaconda dash navigator. Anaconda dash navigator. Earlier I took that right only Anaconda, that's why it didn't work. So Anaconda dash navigator, and navigator it will open up, and this one is the screen that is already set the display. So it is going to work for you that way also. You don't have to open an extern because my display on the Red Hat is also already set. That's why I went the second time to open an account there. And then if you just say the display setting is too huge, that Anaconda was not showing here, you see that it was too huge. So you can go back on this one and change the resolution. 800 by 600 is too this. Maybe we could do it to this and then apply. Now we have a much nicer looking like a desktop. But because I made it for the video to show you that one, now I'm going to keep it this one. And notice that if I just go back to Anaconda, this screen shows up easily. And then that way I could just resize this one and then show you the entire Anaconda navigator with Jupyter Lab, the Spider, Jupyter Notebook, Oracle Cloud, and then IBM stuff, and then all of that. Some of them, the icons are different, or studio, and so on. So you do have option of doing that. Okay, I'm gonna end this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned from it. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because when you subscribe and share the videos to your favorite friends and loved ones and family members, you're caring about them also. By caring, we all get a better society around each other. Okay, so if I just want to say I'm done with this video, I could just say log out, and then or just shut down with the system. But it is good to log out from this system here now, since I'm done with everything, and then that way I disclaim all the memory that was used. So reclaim the memory, not disclaim. Reclaim the memory that was used. So now I'm going to say I'm not going to log in again. I'm going to power it off. So this will be powered off. And now I go back to my virtual box, and then this one will just terminate when it ends here. You will be back onto the virtual box, and it tells you this is done, power off. And then these other ones, I don't need to use it. I'm going to close it. I'm back on my Windows machine, and then on Windows, obviously, you can also use Conda and other ones to do that one. And last time I showed you that one, so that was another video. God bless you all. Take care. Have a nice one. Bye-bye.